I want to quickly talk to you about the business loans for bad credit that reports to Equifax Business this year. So if you have bad credit and you're interested in building credit, building business credit, and you want to have a business loan that reports to Equifax, I want you to pay attention to the following loans. First of all, you have Zing Funding. So Zing Funding is a pretty flexible lender that actually will take care of you if you have bad credit. They will actually look at your application even if you have a FICO score as low as 300, and they reports to Equifax Business every 60 days, every 2 months. Okay, and Zinc Funding, in terms of business funding, they have three programs that they actually they actually offer. They have term loans, they have lines of credit, and they have what they call Flex Pay. Let me break it down for you. With the term loan program, you get a lump sum of cash with terms from 6 months to 5 years. You can save interest with early repayment, and you have amounts from $10,000 all the way to $1 million. So through Zinc Funding, if you go through their term loan program, you get a maximum loan amount of $1 million. What about the line of credit? Through Zinc Funding, you get access to financing whenever you need it. You only pay for what you use, but the amounts are actually limited at $500,000. So that's pretty good. And the third program that's pretty interesting, that you don't have a lot of lenders who actually do that, but Zinc Funding is pretty innovative in that sense because they have the FlexPay allows you to secure cash now from your unpaid invoices or future sales. Okay, so we're not speaking here about a regular accounts receivable factoring arrangement. Okay, because when you think about future sales, those sales are not even here yet, but Zinc Funding is actually providing you liquidity upfront. And you have repayment terms that are aligned with receivables or driven by credit card sales. So you have a mixture of, let's say, invoice factoring and MCA, so merchant cash advances. And here you have amounts that actually go from $5,000 all the way to $5 million, depending on your business profile. Okay, so Zinc Funding is a great business lender for bad credit that reports to Equifax Business. And you can call them if you're interested. Call them now, 470-531-1715. If you're looking for a business loan for bad credit that reports to Equifax Business, I want you to think about Credibly. And Credibly allows you to actually pre-qualify. That's a good thing that Zinc Funding doesn't have. Okay, Credibly allows you to pre-qualify, so you have the possibility to pre-qualify and see how much you can actually get. And the cool thing about Credibly is that, kind of similar to Zinc Funding, they will look at your FICO score. 300, not a problem. If you have a FICO score of 300, not a problem. Credibly actually reports your data to Equifax Business every month, not every 2 months as Zinc Funding. They do it every month. Okay, and that's really good. And what you will love with Credibly is that you have a wider variety of business funding options. So you have they have regular term loans, regular business term loans. They have VA business loans, so they actually cater to veterans. So that's pretty good. They have working capital loans. They have SBA loans. They have merchant cash advances. They have small business loans for women. They have also bad credit business loans. So besides the bad credit business loans, they have all those business loans that I just listed for you. Okay, so that's really good. Okay, and with Credibly, you have same day funding options available. So once your application is approved and you accept the offer, your loan will be deposited directly into your business account. And the loan amounts, if you think about Credibly, you are looking at $5,000 all the way to $600,000. I mean, here you don't have the $5 million you had with Zinc Funding, but it's a different process, okay? And what I love about Credibly is that what you will love also about Credibly is that Credibly gives you the possibility to pre-qualify. So you're not really risking your FICO score right off the bat, right? You want to see how much you can qualify for. So that's really good. And you have also a less paperwork. You have less paperwork with Credibly. They don't ask for a lot of paperwork. As long as you provide like a basic financials, you tell them, you give them maybe an idea of your sales volume, they should be able to fund you. Now, if you are a startup, even that's one thing I need to add. If you are a startup, you could actually be funded through Credibly. It really depends on your state It depends on also how long you have been you have been a startup. I mean, if you're a brand new startup, you're not going to qualify. But if you are like a 3-month startup or a 6-month startup, you can still qualify with for funding through Credibly. If you're looking for a business loan for bad credit that reports to Equifax Business, I want you to consider QuickBridge this year. QuickBridge actually reports your data to Equifax Business every 2 months. Every 60 days, they'll report your data to them. Okay, and so when you think about QuickBridge, you have higher requirements because to actually qualify for a QuickBridge business loan, they want you to have 250,000 or more in annual sales, and you got to have a business bank account, and you also got to be in business for at least 6 months. Okay, so that's really if you are a startup, that's really it's really making things a little more complicated for some borrowers. Okay, but the cool thing about QuickBridge is that everything is streamlined. Okay, and everything is streamlined. They have several types of small business loans. So they have working capital loans, unsecured loans, short-term loans, good credit business loans, bad credit business loans. Really, really fantastic. And here you have business loans of up to $500,000. So QuickBridge will give you up to let's say $500,000. Okay, you can receive funds within days. You have a simple application process, a streamlined application process, no hidden fees, early payoff discounts, and you also have flexible loan term options. So that's really good. The cool thing is that you are able to get your to get funds real fast if you are able to provide them with a business bank account during the application. Okay. One thing I want to say also is that when you think about QuickBridge, you have all kinds of loans depending on the operational motive. For instance, you can cover day-to-day expenses, or you can just get the loan for strategic investments. And the cool thing is QuickBridge will work with you, not a problem. So they will work with you if you have a minimum FICO score of 300, not a problem. They will work with you. So when I speak about covering day-to-day expenses here, you have business operations, employee payroll, inventory financing, among others. Okay, so that's really good. In terms of strategic investments, you have a business expansion, you have equipment financing, you have renovation financing. So that's really good also. But again, remember, the maximum you can get through QuickBridge is $500,000. So $500,000, but that's really good anyway. I mean, and you simply want to apply online. You get a quick credit decision, and you can receive your funds fast. So that's really fantastic. If you're thinking about business loans for bad credit that reports to Equifax Business, I want you to really think about Altline this year. So Altline is actually a subsidiary of the Southern Bank Company. So this is an alternative lender that's actually associated with a traditional bank. Okay, and so if you want to go with Altline, it's just better to actually call them first, or just fill out their online quote form to get in contact with the rep today. I mean, that's really better because then you can ask all questions that you have before you actually start the process. Okay, so they report to Equifax Business every 30 days. Every month they will report your data to Equifax Business. They also report the data to Dun & Bradstreet, by the way, and which is really rare from a traditional bank, but hey, they do it. And so if you have to call them, you want to call them at 205-629 4359, 205-629 4359, or as I said a little earlier, you can fill out their online quote form to actually start a conversation. Now, if you go with Altline, you don't actually have a traditional array of business loans for bad credit. They have invoice discounting. They have invoice factoring. They also have business lines of credit. They have ACH loans. They have SBA 7A loans. They also have merchant cash advances. And the good thing is they also have microloans. Finally, they have equipment financing loans. So you can see that with Altline, you have a large variety of loans, but those loans are a little different, okay? So if you are looking for, let's say, a working capital loan for bad credit, this is not going to really work with Altline. But if you are looking for a merchant cash advance, then they will work with you. Okay, they'll work with you, and the merchant cash advance will be based on the sales volume that you are generating. Okay, and the thing is that Altline is actually reporting your data. I think I just said it every month, and they will consider 300. So if you have a FICO score that starts at 300, not a problem. That means if you have a very low credit score, this is not really an obstacle. Okay, this is really good. And with Altline, you can also get startup business loans with no revenue, not a problem. If you're looking for business loans for bad credit that reports to Equifax business, I want you to think about iCapital Funding. And iCapital Funding is a pretty interesting player because they are very flexible. Okay, they will give you funds real fast. You have the possibility to qualify for up to $1 million in just 4 hours. Think about that, $1 million in just 4 hours, and they will report your data to Equifax Business every 90 days, every 3 months. They'll report your data to Equifax Business. And so this is not a monthly thing, okay? You got to be with them for at least 3 months for them to report your data. And you are able to get cash real fast. So you can get a traditional business loan. You can get a merchant cash advance. You can get a working capital loan. You can even get a business line of credit through iCapital Funding. The good thing about iCapital Funding is that they have all kinds of programs, funding programs, and you just have to start a conversation with them to actually see how much you can qualify for. Okay, and what I want to say here is that if you don't want to really go through the online form that they have on their website, you can call actually 1-718-663-4716. So that's the number. They're located in New York, so 1-718-663-4716 to start the whole conversation, and they will ask you questions, or you can even email the company and just sort of manifest your interest in their product, okay? And then they'll let you know based on your financial profile, based on your operational profile, based on your individual, let's say, characteristics in terms of financial characteristics. They'll let you know how much you can qualify for. But the good thing about iCapital Funding is that they're really fast. They are really, really fast. As I said to you a little earlier, you can qualify for up to $1 million in just 4 hours. Just 4 hours. Think about that. Just 4 hours, you get maximum of $1 million. That's really good. Don't forget that you need to have a business bank account to actually work with iCapital Funding. They need a business bank account to send the funds to. If you're looking for a business loan for bad credit that reports to Equifax Business, I want you to consider Sunwise Capital this year. And Sunwise Capital will report your data every single month to Equifax Business. So that's really good. So you can build credit real fast through this process. And with Sunwise Capital, you can get $10,000 all the way to $2 million. So the interval to really look at is $10,000 all the way to $2 million. But Sunwise Capital wants you to be in business for 12 months at least. So if you are a brand new startup, you're not going to qualify for financing through Sunwise Capital. You got to be in business for at least 12 months to actually qualify. You got to have a minimum FICO score of 500. So 300 ain't going to do it. 400 ain't going to do it. 500, that's the minimum FICO score. And you got to generate $15,000 in monthly revenue. So the minimum revenue monthly that they will actually look at is $15,000. Okay, but overall, the good thing about Sunwise Capital is that you have all kinds of loan programs, business loan programs. Okay, you get approved real fast. There is no collateral required, so those are unsecured business loans. You also have a soft credit pool, so that's really good. In other words, you are able to check your eligibility without affecting your credit score. Okay, you have a hassle-free application, a streamlined application, and you have an application process that is tailored to your needs. So that's really good. And one thing I want to say also is that when you think about Sunwise Capital, please give them a call first. If you're interested in this lender, you want to give them a call first. You want to ask all questions upfront before going through the pre-qualification process. even though the pre-qualification process doesn't affect your FICO score, still before you call them up, make sure that you actually get all the info you need. Okay. So I would just want to tell you that you are able to get 10,000 all the way to $2 million. That's the loan range I want you to consider. So their phone number is 1-888-456-9223. 1-888-456-9223. Or you can just email. They have an email here. So the email is info@sunwisecapital.com. So you have those two conduits where you can reach out to someone at Sunwise Capital and ask preliminary questions before going through the whole loan application process. So if you're looking for business loans for bad credit that reports to Equifax Business, I want you to consider Biz2Credit this year. And Biz2Credit actually gives you loans up to $1 million. They will report your data to Equifax Business every 60 days, every 2 months. Okay, they do not do this on a monthly basis, nor do they do it on a quarterly basis. They do it every on a how do you call it, bi-monthly basis. Okay, so you have loan amounts up to $1 million. And with Biz2Credit, you have revenue-based financing. In other words, they look at your credit score, that's for sure. So they'll look at your credit score. Let's say a credit score, they'll say, well, anywhere from 500 to 650, they will work with you. So even if you have 500, not a problem, okay? The APR range goes from 8% to 18%. In some cases, it might go to 25%, depending on your application and also your company's financial profile. But the loan amounts actually is limited at $1 million, okay? But you are essentially talking about revenue-based financing, okay? And one thing I want to say here is that when you think about Biz2Credit, remember that it's all about receiving your cash real fast. So you can get your cash within 24 to 48 hours. That's really good, okay? And you also have the possibility but yeah, I think one thing I need to say is that they want you to have to be in business for at least 18 months, 12 to 18 months. So that's really a little bit of, this could be a bummer if you are a startup. And also the loan repayments can be weekly, bi-monthly, or monthly. So that's one thing. And they want you to really have this over the course of 12 to 36 months. So Biz2Credit is not really sort of tying their knots with you, tying up knots with you. Actually, over several years. No, they're not tying the knots with you over several years. They want you to be with them for 1 to 3 years. That's it. Okay. So if you want, let's say, if you want a lender that will actually be around for 5 years or 8 years, it's just better to go to a traditional lender like a credit union or a bank, because those alternative lenders, some of them at least, they are very risk averse. They'll work with you. Okay, they'll fund you if you have bad credit. But they did not want to stick around for too long because you just never know. So, as a closure here into this conversation, I spoke to you about business loans for bad credit that reports to Equifax Business. I give you the loans and now the closure. The loans, we have a Zing Funding, Credibly, Quick Bridge, Outline, iCapital Funding, Sunwise Capital, and Biz2Credit. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.